Here we're going to do numbers 19 through 24 on page 7. As we look at these, we try to find which variable might be best to eliminate first. And so let's try eliminating the y's. It looks pretty good. If we take that guy and add them together, we get a 5x, and the y's go away, and we get a plus z equals 5. And then if we take these two and add them together while timesing that guy by 2, now that'll make this a 2y right here. That's why I've chosen to times this guy by 2, and it'll eliminate that. So timesing by 2, this is 4x plus x is 5x. And then the y's better go away, and then 2z plus z is 3z. And then 20 plus 5 is 25. Now, we just got rid of a y in 2 different ways. We now have 2 equations and 2 variables to solve for. So, let's do it one more time. The x's look very well set up to just times this guy by a -1 and then add them. So, negative 5x and 5x go away. Negative z and 3z is 2z. And negative 5 and 25 is 20. Z equals 10. Now we come back in here and stick 10 in for z, like right there, and see what kind of equation we then get. So the 10 goes in over there for z, and we get 5x plus 10 equals 5. Subtract 10, we get 5x equals -5, and divide by 5, and we get x equals a -1. So now we're going to take and -1 and 10, we now know 2 of them, so we're going to stick them back over here to get our y. And we can stick them into any equation we wanted. I'll stick it in right here. So we're going to stick that guy right there. We're going to stick that guy right there. And so we get 2 times a -1 is a -2 plus y, we don't know what y is yet, plus z is plus 10 equals 10. This is y plus 8 equals 10, subtract 8 and we get y equals 2. So that means our end result is -1 for x, 2 for y, and 10 for z. Alright, here's number 20. And let me see, the x is not too bad. We could put a negative on that one and get rid of him, but then we times by 3. Y is not too bad. We'd have to times by a 2. But the z's, look at that. The z's look very nice. Add these two together just straight across, and it will take care of those. And we'll go 2x plus a 2y equals a 2. If we add these two together, the z's will go away, so we get 4x minus y equals a -1. Alrighty, now we look at this and we think, okay, how can we get rid of y very quickly? Or x, doesn't matter, but it looks like the y's are going to be a little bit easier. If we take and times this guy by 2, that becomes a -2y, plus 2y, that'll go away. So 8 plus 2, that's a 10x. And then -2 and 2, that's 0. Divided by 10, so we get x equals 0. So now we stick that back up over here. Let's do it with that one. So this guy is going to go over there. So we get -y equals a -1. Means y equals 1. Now we have 2 of them to stick in. We stick in y. Let's pick that one right there. That looks like an easy one to solve for z, and this 0 comes over here like that. So we get 0 plus 1 plus z equals 3. 1 plus z equals 3, subtract 1, and we get z equals 2, which means that our solution is x, y, z, 0, 1, 2. And number 21. Here we have it written down. Make sure I've got everything correctly. Okay, x's, y's, or z's look easier to get rid of. Kind of the y's are looking pretty good. Here we've got a simple addition, and then we'll just times by 2. That looks pretty good there. So let's do this guy right here, where we times this one by 2. So 4x plus 3x is 7x. The y's go away. 8z minus 3z is 5z. And then this is 38 minus 13 is 25. And we can just add those two together. And we get a 3x. Y's go away. That's plus a 6z equals, that looks like a 30. Ooh, so which one do we want to get rid of? The x's or the z's? Well, let's do the x's. Neither one of them looks really particularly easy, so let's times the top guy by a 3 and the bottom guy by a -7. That's 21, -21, gone. So this will be 15z minus 42z. So that's a -27z equals 75 minus 210. That's negative 135. Divide both sides by -27, divides both sides by -27, and z equals 5. So now we start substituting back in. If we take the 5 and go back here, where z is, right there, we then have 3x plus 30 equals 30. Subtract 30 and we get 3x equals 0, x equals 0. Now we're going to take that 5 and stick it in. We're trying to get y, so let's stick it in right there. You could stick it into any one of these that you wanted. There's the z. You take the x and put it right up there. So we get 0 plus y plus 2 times 5 is 10 equals 11. Subtract 10, we get y equals 1. So our solution then is 0 for x, 1 for y, and 5 for z.